This is my fight breakdown for Gary Antoine Russell versus Alberto Puello. I feel like this is gonna be a very good fight, very good test for Puello as well as Russell at this stage of their careers. It seems like these guys are coming at a crossroads right now because Puello he's coming off some tough competition he's had lately. I know a couple of years ago he was supposed to have a match with Rolly Romero, but with a result he had on a test, it just went the other way. Didn't happen. Didn't come to fruition. I would say the toughest fight he's had so far has probably been Akhmedov. Other than that, he's had pretty much just fair competition. But at this stage right now, I feel like him and Garrett Antoine Russell, they're gonna be on a crash course. Both of these guys are southpaws. At this moment right now, Gary Antoine Russell likes to use his jab a little bit more than what Pulo does. Even though Pulo, I've seen it's probably his best performance. He uses jab a lot more throughout the fight. It seems like lately, over the last couple of years, he's gotten away from the jab and focused more on throwing the hooks and the power and the body shots. He will throw a jab, but it'll be to the body. Gary Antoine Russell, his jab is a lot more consistent. Um, I will say he does jab a lot throughout the fight, but sometimes it's just a little bit too much. If I was to critique it, it's almost like when Teofimo Lopez was using his jab against um Sandor Martin and Lomachenko and Kambosos. He's kind of gotten away from that, but with Gary Antoine Russell, it seems like he uses that jab and tries to kind of bait people in and throw that left hand, throw some hooks, right hook. He likes to jab to the body, so it's calculated thinking. He's not going in there just fighting wild. He's definitely It seems like he's not under control, but he's definitely under control. He's just a high volume, high paced fighter. Uh, his left hook to the body is strong as well, but his overhand left, it's gonna be a problem for Pulo. If Pulo's not jabbing, if he's not being consistent, moving his head, if he's standing in the pocket, I've seen him lean a lot of times on the ropes. That's not going to be a good recipe for a guy like Gary Antoine Russell. He likes to use his feet. Those guys tend to clinch a lot, so it will be some clinching going on in this fight, some inside work, some punches thrown, going out of a break or without the referee breaking. They'll basically break themselves. But at this time right now, the stamina, it could be an issue as far as which one of these guys haven't really had the kind of run they needed to. Pulo, he's probably had only one match in probably the last 12 months. Could be longer than that. So that situation is probably going to work against him. But with Gary Antoine Russell, he's basically fought the same schedule. So, but is Pulo as consistent as Gary Russell is as far as being in the gym and working very hard? But Gary Russell is in shape a lot. You know what I'm saying? Especially last couple of fights he's weighed in around 38, 37, and he's fighting at 40. So that's a good sign of a guy who's in very good shape, not to be played with, and he's doing an excellent job basically going the course and staying patient. I know a lot of people say he doesn't have a lot of fights right now, and he's an older guy, 27 with 17 fights. Um, he will be turning 28 June 14th, which was 3 days away, a day before. It's gonna be on Friday on weigh-ins. But I don't feel like that's something to really make a big deal about. Like I've said recently, Matias has a couple of more fights than that. He's like 4 years older, 5 years older than Gary Antoine Russell. So he's basically on the same kind of pace as Matias. So I wouldn't really be too. It's not really anything that's shocking to me. A lot of people don't have 30 fights, 40 fights, and that tends to happen. Depends on how you go about things. A lot of people in the pros, If you're in the pros and you feel like you're a top level guy, you wouldn't have 40 fights, but other people's development is a lot different. Like Pulo, um, he has slightly a couple more fights, but from his development, it seems like he's gonna need that. He's took some time off in between. Um, with him basically regressing from using his jab, that's not a good sign for me in this fight. Um, I would like to see him use a jab a lot more in this fight coming up. That would give him a chance to make it to a decision. But trying to exchange with Gary Antoine Russell with just hooks and power punches and overhand lefts and straights, it's not gonna happen. So I definitely feel like Gary Antoine Russell will be able to slide through this fight with a eighth round knockout. I feel like he's going to be aggressive in this fight. He's going to be patient, jab to the body, try to break him down. Can Pulo be the first one to slide, get away from Gary Antoine Russell without being knocked out? We could see it's a possibility. If he used that length, there'll definitely be a reason why he gets away. But that's the conclusion I came up with, and that's all I got, man. Like and subscribe.